Yo, what's going on? It's Pika. I am calling in from Singapore. It is Tuesday night. It's nice and quiet outside. Okay, I'm lying. It's not quiet. It feels quiet in my house, but I can hear people talking and laughing outside, which is it's actually kind of soothing and comforting to know that, there are people out there that are having fun. um, let's see. Tuesday. I actually stayed home today. Excuse me, I had to get some water. So, as you all know, my daughter actually got sick over the weekend. And as is most often the case, if she gets sick, mostly because I'm tending to her, mostly because there's no one else in the house, I'm guaranteed to get sick. Especially this year, I don't know what happened, but lately it seems like I get sick a lot more often. And I have a feeling it's because I don't sleep well, it's because I don't eat well, it's because I don't take care of my health as much as I could. I don't take my vitamins. I suck. I have them. They're very carefully kept in the freezer right now so they don't expire and look all crazy on me. But yeah, I don't take them. I'm not sure why. Just laziness, I think. But yeah, I noticed that my immunity is a lot lower than usual. I noticed that my energy is a lot lower than usual, and I get sick a lot more easy. It used to be that, I go forever, maybe like a whole year almost, without getting sick. And if I do get sick, obviously it's a doozy, so, I need to sleep it off or whatever. But I've been getting sick a lot more often. I've never had such a problem with phlegm or mucus before, and I'm noticing that it actually, the production of mucus increases after certain things that I eat. So perhaps I will be vegan one day, and perhaps not. I do love meat. But I'm noticing a lot more of those things. I know for a fact that I'm lactose intolerant. Where I used to be able to eat cereal and drink milk in the US, the milk here is not the same. And I can't do anything with milk in it. I've found that I can't really do ice cream like I used to. I have to do gelato instead, which is not bad. I mean, it's the same kind of idea, right? But it's not ice cream. Yeah, just certain things just produce phlegm or mucus like right away almost. It's almost like it really does encourage an acidic environment in my body, and then my body responds immediately with mucus. It's awesome. Not. Yeah, so I've been noticing a recurring theme in my life lately. Whether I know what I need to do or not, I second guess myself. And it could be for no reason at all. I mean, there's no legitimate reason for me to second guess myself. There's no legitimate reason for me to worry or be afraid or have doubt. But what I found is, even though I know what I need to do, I tend to stall on doing it because my mind suddenly fills with all the possibilities of things that could go wrong, reasons why it won't work, just uncanny fear based in almost nothing. It's not even a situation where someone's told me, oh, that'll never work, and then I start dwelling on it. It's not even that. And it showed up in a lot of my conversations with the people around me as well. Talking to my cousin earlier, and she was like, yeah, she's noticed a lot of changes in her circle lately, and she's happy about the changes, but it makes her question why she's in a situation and those people are not. So she's focusing on lack, and I know what it does, and she knows what it does, not to focus on lack because you're drawing more to energy to something that you don't want, therefore creating more of what you don't want. So we all know this, we all understand this. I've been talking about law of attraction long enough for you to really have an idea of what I'm talking about. But it doesn't stop us from being human. It doesn't stop that stupid voice in your head talking about, yeah, but what if you fail? And yeah, but, what if you're not good enough? What if you're meant to be single the rest of your life? I mean, who would want a 36-year-old single mom? Who wants that drama, right? I mean, you're older than everybody else who's actually looking for a spouse. You have a kid who wants to walk into that situation. You've probably, turned into more man than woman because you've been handling everything by yourself. I mean, there are a million stupid things that go through my mind, but I'm being honest. I go through this stupid dialogue in my head. I keep going over things that I may have done by accident that might have upset someone. I keep going over why I can't have what I want because I don't have enough experience. There are better people out there than me. Everyone and their mother is trying to be a coach right now. Like, why would I want to add to that noise right now? I don't have a design background, so how could I ever, truly design something good enough to sell? I don't have an art background. How could I create anything that would be good enough to sell? I have an education background for online teaching, but that was from 2004, and so much has changed since then. How would you ever cope? It's all these stupid things that keep popping up in my head, and unfortunately, I'm listening to them. What I've learned is fear's only language is doubt. Fear's only language is doubt. And no matter what you think you know, no matter what you think you can do, no matter how much motivation you get, you still need more of it, right? Okay, let me give you an example, I guess. I can listen to Gary Vee in the morning. Okay, first thing in the morning, on my way to work, and I'm pumped. I'm ready to go out and grab the world by the balls and just take over, kick ass, take names, make sure there's nothing left, just massacre everything. And that would be at, let's say that's like at 8:30 on my way to work, right? Well, by about 11 o'clock, I need another dose. And depending on what my workload is like, depending on who's at the office, depending on, if I've been called into a meeting or whatever, either I get to listen to it in the background of what I'm doing, or I don't. And more than likely when I don't, fear starts talking to me again. And it may not have anything to do with work. It could be, I find myself looking at the business Facebook page for Scholars Inc. And in the margin, there are ads that are popping up, and something catches my eye, and it triggers me down like a rampage of thoughts about, I don't know, dating websites or marriage counseling or something stupid like that, and it sets me off on the warpath about whatever is going on in my life in connection to that one particular ad that caught my eye, and from there it spins out of control. So I do need motivation on a consistent basis, and I do need it from different places, though. I feel like in the last Okay, let me be specific. Since September 6th, I have needed it on a consistent basis, where I was pretty consistent about talking to a particular person and going about my day, and my day kind of revolved around me, my work, my kid, the house, this person, and then it kind of just went on and on from there, just a cycle. You start with this, you end with that, you start with this, you end with that. And when the person kind of ducked out on me, I felt the need to fill the void. And when I was looking to see who would be available to fill the void, the voices started, the fear started knocking at me, and kind of whittling away my self-esteem, which I had before I started speaking to this person. I was fine. You can ask Vanessa, you can ask Mia. I had a motivational group that I was leading. And it was the four of us, and I was pushing everyone to get their goals done. We were keeping each other accountable. I would start off in the morning, just, hey, what's up? How's it going? This is what I'm doing today. This is what I'm grateful for. This is what we're going to go attack today. And it was great. I had such momentum. And somehow or another, this person found their way into my circle, and it was great. Everything we talked about was fire. We were, what is that word I want to use? We were inspiring each other to do more. He was in turn inspiring me to inspire my group to do more. It was like a cycle. It was awesome. It was right in my vibrational level. It was everything that I needed it to be. But when that person kind of ducked out, for their own reasons, it's not anything, bad or good that happened. It's just, they got stuff to handle. They went to go handle it. So in that same space, suddenly I found what happened to become routine was no longer routine. And suddenly I felt like when those moments happened, I would fall into this rut of, oh my God, I don't have this. What do I do now? I'm lost without this. And it's something I kept telling myself, and something I eventually started to believe. And from believing, it went to, oh my God, you must not be good enough, because obviously they just left you high and dry. But that's not the case. Being a little more removed from the situation, now I'm able to see, you know what? Objectively speaking, they did what they had to do. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with them. It had nothing to do with us as a pair of people talking. It had more to do with whatever situation was going on with that person. And it wasn't any of my business to know what that was. I mean, that's something they got to handle, right? And when the time comes, they'll tell me. It's not a big deal. But at the time when it happened, I kind of fell off my step. I fell out of sync with everything that I had going on, and it started to show in my work. So the momentum that I had been seeing, where people were like, damn, you get so much done. How the fuck do you get that done? It became, Pika, hey, where are you? You good? Like, hey, I need your advice. Do you have a minute to talk to me? Hey, are we still doing this, and this? So people started reaching out to me to see what I was doing, and it was like I'd fallen off the face of the map a little bit, which is not good. And that's where that fear and that doubt comes in. These were all unrelated things that somehow my mind was able to relate to all together and somehow decide that, oh yeah, it's your fault and you screwed up and this is da-da-da-da. It just went on and on and on. So what I want you to realize is fear and doubt come from the same place. And a lot of times, if you've noticed, when you have stuff going for you, when you finally figured out, yeah, you know what? It doesn't take that much to get my dreams up and running. Yeah, you know what? All it takes is a little bit of effort. And once I start, the momentum, that initial piece of force that gets the momentum going, that's the hardest part. Once you get that going, it's just easier. It's just one more step, one more step, one more step. And you get it. It becomes like snowball effect almost. To a degree, you become unstoppable because it builds your own confidence. It's like a. Do you remember back when the Model T Ford came out and they had like a hand crank in the front of the car? So once you crank it up, once that momentum started going, the pistons started turning or whatever. I really don't know that much about mechanics, but once that car, the engine started moving, it kind of charged itself because it was generating electricity. It's generating electricity. Now, once it stops and idles for long enough, that's when you need that hand crank. Once again, you jump out the car, you get in front of it, and you start cranking again to get that momentum going. So it's a lot like that in business. And I know Gary Vee's talked about it a lot. The micro really matters. I mean, obviously you have to have the big picture, the macro in mind, but the micro matters. So the micro, he's always said that he's really fast in the micro. So he crams as much as he possibly can into the 24 hours that he has each day so that he's not wasting time. Because yeah, we do a lot of shit like think about things and how they could be. And then think about everything that could go wrong. And then think about, what if this went like this? And what if that went like that? And what if I didn't do this? And what if I'm just tired. Maybe I'll just do it tomorrow. The amount of thinking we freaking do, we could get so much done in that space. And I'm not saying, yeah, we should all be superhuman like Gary Vee, but he makes a lot of sense. It is true. We could do a lot instead of just thinking about stuff. Pinterest is the devil. I can sit on Pinterest forever and dream and dream and dream and pin and pin and pin and research and research and research. And at the end of the day, I have a board full of workout exercises and ideas, and I haven't done a single push-up, which I could have done because the time definitely went by. I definitely spent like 3 hours on that shit, and I could have worked out a couple times if I had just redirected my energy. So the fear and the doubt really does just sidetrack you, and usually it picks up when you have something going. It took Vanessa reminding me yesterday that, you know what, obviously you're on the right path because the devil is out to get you. He's got all kinds of stupid distractions jumping out and trying to take your focus. So, the person that I mentioned before that kind of dipped out on me, that was one that's been like ongoing for a little bit, and I don't know, I'm a little stupid. I'm trying to figure it out still. The other one is, it was a pop-up from the other day. I've been dealing with my ex lately, not on purpose, not because, I want him back, nothing like that. There was a hiccup with the divorce papers as far as the custody was going on. And when I went to go register my daughter for school here in Singapore, they gave me shit about the custody situation. Now, I know for a fact it was a no contest divorce. There was nothing I needed from him, and there was nothing he needed from me. The marital assets were divided just as they were before we had been married. There was nothing to divide up. There was no alimony, no child support, no nothing. It was the simplest divorce there could have ever been, ever. But on his side, the lawyer did not print the divorce on letterhead. On his side, there was nothing from the court, because it was done in the U.S., there was nothing from the courts that said, yes, this is official, it's done. And on top of that, there was nothing in the custody portion that said that I had sole custody. Now, it said I had physical custody, but it did not say I had sole custody. So for that one situation, I went ahead and got back in contact with him. Not that I wanted to. And obviously, to get this done, because it's not going to be overnight, I have to woo him for a while to make sure that it gets done. I had to talk to him on and off for maybe 2 months now, because the registration happened in July. And yesterday is when I finally had a conversation with him. He said, yeah, I'm going to email it to you. And by the way, people, I still don't have an email. But he said he's going to email it to me. And we got to talking for a little bit, just small talk, catching up with the people that we used to know. His son's mom, his daughter's mom, his brother. His brother recently wrote a book. It's called Play Your Position by Antoine Clark. And I haven't read it, but apparently, he's doing good. He's promoting it and everything. And this is why I wanted to bring this up. He decided he was going to write a book as well. So he told me, hey, you know what? I wrote a book. And all of a sudden, all the alarms are going off in my head like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, he wrote a book. And I asked him, yo, cool, that's really awesome. What are you going to do with it? He said, yeah, I'm having a launch party in November. And I was like, okay. Back in my mind, I'm going, all right, that means he's actually already written this if he's going to launch it in November, because it's October right now. There's no way he's going to write a whole book in this month, because I know him. He's not as organized as he could be. Lord knows I tried to help him, but yeah. Anyway, so he said he's going to have a launch party in November. He's written the book. He's just working on the title now. And I asked, just out of curiosity, being friendly, whatever, I said, what's the name of the book? He goes, well, there were 2 names that we came up with toying with. I can't remember one of them. The other one that stands out to me is Raised by Wolves. And I was like, all right, cool. That kind of sounds like you, that's kind of dope, whatever. And I said, so will you send me a copy? Now, there's a twofold reason for this. First of all, yes, I want to get my hands on the book before it gets released so I can take a look and see exactly how damaging it will be to me. The second reason is because, obviously, if I ever loved him, I should be a fan of his and I should push him to do better. So, if he's actually doing something productive with his life, I commend him and, kudos to you. And I will try and support you as much as I can. But yes, obviously, the selfish reason is to figure out exactly what he's mentioned about me, if he's mentioned me, and to see if I can get in front of any damage control that I might need to do. Now, obviously, I overthought the whole damn thing, because now looking back at it, I'm like, okay, you asked him for the book, that's cool and everything, but the fact that you freaked out after you hung up the phone with him and was trying to figure out, oh my God, how can this even be happening to me right now? Do I really need a tell-all book for my ex-husband right now when I'm trying to build a business? Obviously that was more attention than I needed to give it. And Vanessa was the one I called, and Vanessa was like, you know what? The devil is a liar, and you know it. And you know for a fact that all this shit is popping up right now because you got something that's working. You figured out what it is that you need to be doing, and you're pursuing it. And the fact that you're doing very well, that you're gaining traction, you're consistently putting in work towards your business. Obviously, something's going to pop up to trip you up. And obviously, fear and doubt are going to play a part. So what I'm here to tell you today, okay, from what I've done research on, what I've been trying to focus on, what I've been trying to learn in the last, I don't know how long, things will always pop up. I've told you before that things have no bearing unless you add your opinion to them. It's how you feel about a situation that makes it good or bad, right? I know this, you know this, I forget sometimes, all right? But the other thing is, you have a choice whether you listen to it or not. You have a choice to recognize that it's fear talking. Now, something that I've learned recently with the law of attraction I've been listening to Abraham Hicks, because there is a particular YouTube video that I've been listening to lately that really helps me refocus what I'm thinking about. And basically they say, once you align with the source, you have this ecstatic feeling like, everything is coming together. You feel really happy. There's nothing that can stop you. You feel like a ray of sunshine almost. And that's when you're aligned with the source. That's when you're aligned with your best interests. You are attracting all the good in the world. You are, you're basically your best and highest self. So when that happens, gosh, where was I going with this? Okay, yeah. So when that happens, you attract good things towards you, right? But in the event that you don't, in the event that something happens and it shakes you a little bit, you need to remember, you need to realize that, okay, it is basically just the fear talking. It is basically just, doubt that's like created by the fear. Because I know from experience that once I feel really good about something, suddenly somehow you're like, wait, should I even be feeling good about this? Shouldn't I be, am I deserving of this? Is this really true? Could it be true? I mean, it's too good to be true. How could it be true? So that's when that fear kind of pops up, and it's like trying to test you and see, okay, how bad do you really want this? And it's up to you to recognize that, you know what, that's just fear, and I need to let that go. But it's hard sometimes because the justification the fear comes up with is actually pretty legitimate. And it's things you've told yourself before. It's things you've heard people tell you before. It's that dialogue you rerun in your head a lot. So I need you guys, when you feel that fear swell up inside you, to realize that it is just fear. You need to get back to that place where you feel content, where you feel strong, where you feel powerful, where you feel happy and whole and fulfilled and easeful and peaceful and useful. You get back to that place, that feeling, so that you can realize that this is the stuff you need to be attracting. And no matter what the fear is telling you, no matter what the doubts are telling you, the only way to get over them is to do action. Action is the only thing that cures fear and doubt. And that's what I found, not in theory, but in practice. There were times where my mom would get mad at me and she would ignore me. And I'm telling you right now, as a Pisces, the one thing that will kill me faster than anything else is being ignored. I don't like being ignored. So when I would go through situations like that, even if it was like, if it was my mom, if it was my first fiance, if it was my husband, if it was friends of mine, if they start ignoring me, that panic starts setting in, that doubt starts kicking in, and that doubt starts the fear starts churning out doubts, and I start talking about, oh, well, am I even worthy of their attention? Maybe I'm not worthy, and that's why they're doing this. And I start telling myself stupid things. None of it is true, obviously, and none of it is based on objectivity. So you need to remove yourself from that situation sometimes, and sometimes you need to give it some space. But how do you give something space when that's all you can think about? And for me, that is action. I get busy doing, and it could be stupid, mundane things, but I find that doing things with music in the background helps me forget what the time is like. So for us now in this day and age, we need to turn the Wi-Fi and the data off on your phone. Go charge it somewhere where it's not near you, where you can't keep checking on it. Go play music at the highest possible allowable volume, and go sing throughout your house and go do the things that you need to do. I find that in the mornings I am the most productive. I can get up in the morning and set the washing machine to wash, sort out all the clothes, go ahead and iron stuff, go ahead and cook stuff, go ahead and clean the whole floor, sweep and mop and vacuum, clean the fans, like all that busy work, but with music in the background, because obviously as you're doing stuff, you're always thinking, right? But the last thing you want is to be thinking about the thing that's driving you nuts anyway. So the best thing that I could advise you to do is go ahead and get some action in there, throw some action in there. I know I was talking to my cousin, she was like, what, I go through that too, but I got up and went to class today, and I found that, halfway through the lecture, I was thinking about the stuff anyway. Sometimes you find yourself in those situations where you can't do anything but sit there and think, because obviously if the lecture was any kind of interesting, you'd be thinking about that. But us being fickle-minded people, it just happens that way. I could be the strongest person, I could be the best coach, but you know what? I'm prone to humanism as well. I'm prone to falling from grace. I'm prone to stupid inner dialogues and forgetting that it's just fear talking, and the only way to cure fear is to act. So I think the reason that I feel confident as a coach is because I still go through these things, and I still have to go back and reach through and use whatever I'm telling you to use to fix what I'm going through. So that means that I am a product of my own medicine. I would take my own medicine, and that I'm confident in giving it to you because it works for me. And obviously there's no catch-all, there's no cure-all for everyone. But I can give you what I've tried, and then we can brainstorm on if it doesn't work and why it doesn't work and what else we could be doing to help you. So I'm pretty confident in who I am. I have no problems teaching from my experience, my life, because my life is an open book. I feel like I failed enough times to know better, and I feel like because I failed, I am an expert in my particular field. And mindset is everything to me. If I don't get my mind right, I'm not going to get anything done. And if I want to build this business, if I want to build a brand, if I want to be remembered for anything other than being lazy and afraid of everything, I need to get going. I need to get some stuff done. So I'm hoping that made some sense. I'm hoping that struck a nerve with you guys. Get up, go do something. Stop thinking about everything that can go wrong. Obviously, you're doing something right if suddenly, you're afraid. You don't get afraid if you're just sitting in your comfort zone. I'm telling you now. If you go to work and come back and complain with your boys, you're not going to be afraid of shit because you know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be the same shit. So get up, go start your dream. You're never too old to start a new dream. There is enough time to get shit done, but you need to get it done. You need to start. And starting is the biggest problem. I have started trouble all the time. I know I can get stuff done. I mean, sometimes I sit down and I'm thinking, you know what? I have 25 people I need to call for a workshop to see if they're coming or not. And I don't want to call 25 people. I'm looking at 25. It's this big number. Knowing full well that if I shut up, get my phone out and call the first one, it may take 3 minutes. And once I finish the first one, I realize, you know what, 3 minutes, that's not shit. Let me try to do the second one. And pretty soon I've gone through the whole list and I haven't even wasted an hour and a half. But sitting and thinking about it and worrying about it and like spewing about it, you're going to waste more time with that shit than you would doing the stuff. Just go do. Try not to think. Just do. All right. Well, that's my rant for the day. I don't even know if that hit 30 minutes or what, but I'm sorry if it did. I'm hoping it was worth it. As usual, write, comment, share, DM. Let me know, please. I want to know. I was talking to my cousin today and I said, you know what? Do I sound like boring? Do I sound like I make any sense? She's like, yeah, you make some sense. And I was like, well, my mentor said I have a soothing voice. I should do meditations. I was like, I didn't put you to sleep now, did I? She's like, no, you're kind of calming, but there was some shit in there struck a nerve with me and I wanted to get up and do something about it. And I was like, all right, cool. I can deal with that. I can live with that. So that's one piece of feedback I've gotten. And I haven't gotten anything else from anybody else. I'm hoping somebody out there, anybody, reach out and let me know, y'all. It's episode 72. I'm actually really proud of my work. I'm proud of the fact that I get up every night and actually do this for you guys. And you know what? You don't have to like it. That's cool too. But I'm doing it anyway. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I got a meeting in the morning and, just work as usual. So let's see how the day goes. And remember, it's just the fear talking if you're suddenly scared of everything. You know you're not that damn scared. But obviously you're doing something right because otherwise you'd be comfortable and you wouldn't have anything to be scared of. All right, y'all. I'm going to call it a night. Talk to you later. Bye.